Greetings. How's everybody doing? YouTube doesn't like that. Hello, greetings everybody. How's everybody doing? Now we wait. We pick our foil of choice. And I'm going to be here for a little while, so we're just getting started. We are going to be forging on that anvil right there in just a minute. Finally it's cooling off around here. We've had 90-degree days the last week or two, so while it's cool, I'm forging. And I really hate this hammer, but we're going to try it for a little while. Just to make sure that I got the head on good, because I'm sure my son is going to want to start using this one. This was the handle we put in one of those hammers from the live stream last time I was on. It's getting pretty mushroomed out after 20 years. I don't really like using it much. My son loves it. let those gather a little heat. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cody Ironworks in Cody, Wyoming. I'm NJ. Thank you. Mostly blacksmith shop. I do a little bit of woodworking, a little bit of gunsmithing, but mostly blacksmith shop. Let our steel heat up a little bit. For all you new people here, we're in Cody, Wyoming, which is right in the middle of the United States. It's the east entrance of Yellowstone National Park, which is probably the most known thing in the world that Wyoming would be known for. We're going to be doing some wall hooks. I might even set up some kind of a fuller or something here. I don't know. We'll see. Starting some horse head hooks. I got to do about a dozen of them. I don't know if I'll finish any of them here. We'll see how my energy holds out. I'll tell you one thing. I need to figure out what this hammer handle. That's a little better. When you custom make these handles, it takes a little bit of time to get them used to where you like them. That's a big hammer. We are making horse face wall hooks. So stand by for a few minutes and I'll have one done. Doing horse-faced horse, H-O-R-S-E, horse face. You can see his face is just starting to come up there now. My chisels get moved around. I got the wrong one. Stand by. All right, let's see what we can do here. All right, I haven't done it here. I haven't done it here for a while, so this could be interesting. Here we go. I'm going to switch hammers. I'm not on that hammer. Grab this here. Grab old trusty here. exactly what I wanted, but first one's always a nuisance. This sort of works. Kinda. I don't like that. Kinda. That one turned out better. Looking more like a horse there. Alright, I'm warming up, everybody. Sorry, I'm gonna have to dish the clothes. Already sweating. If anybody's got any questions, I'll try to answer in between heats. Preheating. Get a nickel rod. I did a couple of videos on it. I've got a couple of videos on it on the channel, so you can go back and if you just Google anvils, it'll come up in on my channel. They make a special rod for it, but I preheat the faces, and then you have to have some kind of a way to get it flat after you do that. there's half of it done. Cross peen. Jade is a little too big. Okay. Trick is getting your ears the same. That's his little tail. And we'll bend this end up. How's everybody doing? Where's everybody from? You know, I don't have any trouble sleeping at night, I can tell you that. Some nights I do good to just wipe the sweat off me and then before I crash. Arab. Some of them are thoroughbreds, some of them are quarter horses, some of them are Arabs. Can of water. I got to quench the end of that off. There's the hook. spin his little head out, and the rest of this I'll have to do in the power hammer. So you can watch me do this. Make a nice hook, and I'll divot the places for the screws later on the power hammer. I don't know what everybody else calls that, but I call that a whale tail. But it's supposed to look like a horse's tail. At least the artist's representation of it. I ought to spin this back so you, hello! I guess I can spin this back so you guys can actually see what I'm doing, huh? Notice I'm using a couple different kinds of hammers, right? So this is a Swiss or French pattern cross peen, and this is a rounding or a turning hammer, and this is my hammer of choice. This is the one I use most of the time. if I can keep the head tight on it. And if you're going to own one hammer, this is the one you need to have. Yeah, I always bet on black. I always bet on black. Good evening, everybody. Where's everybody from? I haven't seen any Cyrillic tonight. It looks like, is that, it's not Chinese. Is that Taiwanese, maybe? Korean? Generally when I go live this late, Idaho. Well, heck, that's just across the hill from over here in Cody, but you got to take the long way around. Texas. I got cousins in Texas. Andrews, Texas. I've got cousins that live in Andrews, Texas. Well, that's what you get for betting on what I say. And there's our hook. There is a lot of work in those. A lot of work in them. A lot of steps, a lot of heats. Thank you. This is 36 years of banging hot steel for me. Yeah. I hope I can talk a few of you people into subscribing. That would be good. I'm almost at 121,000 subscribers. I'm like 129.80 or something. I think I need like 10 or 20 more to get to 121,000. All right, spin this around so you can watch me bend this in this menagerie that I have. Getting some done. I try to do them in pairs. I bend one way and one the other. Oh, go. that's the basic geometry. Well, that's heating up. I'm going to try a couple of leads. Excuse me, leads. Back this way so you can see what I'm doing here. My screen's not quite wide enough. That's the start of the leaf. Instead of messing around with this silly, chain, I'm going to go over here with this thing. You can watch from there. All right, good. Have a great evening. I can hit a lot harder with one strike over there on the treadle hammer. Oh, that's going to be sexy. Yeah, you too. But don't let the bed bugs bite. Ethereum, 1 billion and 1,000 million gazillions. I know that my $21 worth of Bitcoin is now worth $26, so it must be up a little bit. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, mama. Oh, mama. These are the greatest tongs for this. My other tongs. He's kind of a fun. He's kind of a funny faced one. Hello. He's kind of funny faced. He's got a hanging lip. Leaf. There, that's a leaf. Greetings, everybody. Thanks. Appreciate it. If you like the content, please subscribe, please. That's I'm sweating for you guys tonight. I'm not going to try to do this over the anvil. I'm going to go back over the turtle hammer. And I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but take my word for it, it's groovy. I don't drop the turtles. Ah. A lot easier to do there. It's super simple to do over there. Much harder to do here. I can tell you that right now, but we're going to try it. It's a little better. Sexy. You can do all this stuff with about 5 tools, but it sure helps having a rack full of tools to do this. There we go. We're getting them done. Knocking them out. Knocking them out. hammer's getting a bit low. That's a little better. There's the wall hooks. One more of the little horsies to bend, and we'll have this one too. There's the hook. Can't get away from hooks. It's kind of the bread and butter of this business. Pretty sexy. All right. Now comes question and answer time. Answering questions. Do any of you children have any questions about blacksmithing or Wyoming or horse training? Or being 53 years old, because I have lots of knowledge about those things. A lot of other stuff, not so much. But those things I know about. Questions, comments? Appreciate everybody coming in. Hour and 13 minutes. Hey, that was not too bad. I got, oh, thanks for the hearts. I appreciate that. Let's see what I get. 5 of those done, 5 of those, and pretty much 3 leaf wall hooks in an hour and 15 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. Thanks for the hearts, everybody. Appreciate it. Okay. Well, I guess if nobody's asking no questions, I'm going to go wash up and go to bed, because I got a bunch of stuff I gotta do tomorrow, and hopefully it isn't 90 damn degrees around. So, get a hot and headed, always wear safety squints. If you like the content, slip over to the Etsy store. Just Google Cody Ironworks. And maybe subscribe if you're into this stuff and you're into what I do. I post every day. I post at least one video, and a lot of times I'll post 3 short videos a day. If you're interested in the gun content, I do the gun content over on Rumble because YouTube hates the gun content. Next project, I'm doing steerhead wall hooks. And if Aiden actually shows up tomorrow, I'll be doing some videos of steerhead wall hooks tomorrow, and they'll be shorts. Mostly I have him film shorts for me. So I'll do 3 or 4 shorts on the steerhead wall hooks tomorrow. I do a lot of tips, a lot of lesson tip kind of stuff. I've got an intern in here, and he's learning a lot. He's coming along pretty fast. I don't know if it's his heart is in it. We'll see. Oh, but I am looking for another part-time intern. It's an unpaid position, but you get the education and free use of the shop. And I supply all of the consumables, the fuel and everything. So I am looking for somebody, and it can pay. Aiden's he's been at it a month, and he's already making money. He's already doing stuff in the shop. So I wouldn't say he's making a living, but he is definitely covering his gas to get to work and back every day, selling stuff. So, and I kind of like to get a 6-month deal out of everybody, but it's not like I'm signing a contract or anything. So, if you're interested, you can message me on the Etsy store messenger. I don't have a website. Etsy works as on my message platform. So if you have questions for me, you can go into the Etsy store and leave a message there. But I do a lot of content. I have something like 1,400 videos out now. And these are pretty rare. Not something that everybody has. I'm proud enough of mine that I wear it around like Flava Flav. Considering that I've done this with no computer. I have never edited any of my videos on a computer. I don't own one. It's just a $150 Walmart cell phone, and I managed to get one of these. That's a 100,000 subscriber button. So, yeah, and I don't know where the next ceiling that YouTube puts you at. I was really hoping it was 120,000, but it must be more than that because nothing has changed for me since I got to 120,000. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it leads. But I'm really trying to grow the channel, and if I could get the channel to if I could get a couple of sponsors, I could do such better content. You know, but because I could hire somebody to help me edit. Because look, I'm a Luddite. I'm very good working with my hands, but when it comes to doing this on a keyboard, I ain't worth a damn for that. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. My chain's a little long, but it has to be this long to get over my big fat head. It's so ridiculous. I know there's a lot of live streamers, game streamers that are. Yeah, I wish a diamond one. Oh my goodness, I'm a long way from that. It's $1 million, right? Diamond. Yeah, I don't know that I could ever get there. I think the only blacksmith that has that many subscribers is Alex Steele. Has a couple of million subscribers, and he's 30 years younger than me, 35 years younger than me. Most of the guys my age, other than Black Bear, got off of YouTube. I think COVID must have killed it because it's just me and John, um, John from Black Bear Forge. We're the kind of the oldest blacksmiths on YouTube anymore. Everybody else is just a kid compared to us. But I am proud of it. It was a lot of work. 5 years. It took me 5 years to get it. I started really doing videos. I've done videos for like 12 years, but there was no money or anything in it back then, for a little channel. I made it mostly on my short videos. So, but as far as around here, I'm a fairly big channel. I'm probably no, there's a geologist guy who has a couple 100,000 subscribers that's in 9 County, but as far as I know, I'm bigger than everybody around here on the YouTube. So, and I probably need to go to some of the lessons and the classes and stuff. YouTube puts on like symposiums and stuff, but they're a damn long ways from Cody, Wyoming, and I'm not making enough money on the channel to warrant going to YouTube in YouTube cons. Yeah, I understand. We all got to work, and man, it's getting harder and harder. I'm busier than I've ever been, and I'm making less money. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm busier. I'm busier than I've ever been, but it doesn't feel like I'm making any progress at all right now. I did real good during COVID. I had a big jump during COVID, and then I think the economy, man, everybody's got, which is really crazy because there is like 70 new houses going in, and there's 25 houses on the street that I live in just going in right here, brand new ones. And and a lot of them are spec homes. They're getting them done and they're putting them up for sale. I don't know how they're doing it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be driving a 20-year-old vehicle for another 10 years at this rate. If I could just get a couple of good sponsors, I would wear their t-shirts. I'd put their banner on the wall. I'd use their stuff if I could find some decent sponsors. But the only people who want me to sponsor anything is that damn Chinese company, and I don't want to sponsor them. I'm really looking for some American companies to sponsor for sponsorship. I've really been applying for Coal Iron Works to sponsor me, but they'd rather give their equipment to guys that have bigger channels that have less views than me. So I'm kind of shit out of luck there. John Switzer's channel, Black Bear Forge, his channel is twice as big as mine, but a lot of my videos get millions of views. Like the short videos will get millions of views, and you know, if he gets 100,000 views on one of his videos, that's really great. I mean, he's doing good. But for advertising, the short videos I think are a better deal. You know, I've turned down Forged in Fire twice. I turned down the original series, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and then they did this. I guess they did this offshoot where it's like a team thing, like Jesse James used to do on Monster Garage, and I turned that down too. I have a little experience with television and being around producers and stuff, and I don't want to do it. So that filming, it's 8 days. So you go and you film for 8 days, and at least when they were asking me, it was Connecticut. You had to go to Connecticut to film, and you know, you only get paid if you win. And you can't wear any of your stuff. So I couldn't even wear like a sponsored shirt. I couldn't wear my Cody Ironworks t-shirt. They wouldn't let me. You can't have sponsored stuff. You can't even wear your own stuff to support your own shop. So, well, that's pretty silly, because nobody knows who I am. it's all about Cody Ironworks. So, and what do you win? I think they've raised it up to 10,000 now that you win. If you go on Forged in Fire, you win 10,000. You know, I know the guy from over in Powell that won it, and then he won a rematch too a couple of times, and I've talked to him a couple of times. He it kind of wrecked his life for a while. Yeah, it kind of wrecked his life for a while. People were calling him all the time. I think he had to change his phone number, and you know, I mean, it was a mess for him, and I don't need it. I don't need the hassle. I'm as busy as I can be right now. I can't do any more projects than I'm doing now. The only way I'm going to make any more money is if I raise my prices, which I absolutely hate to do, because I really want working people to buy my stuff, and or get some sponsorships and maybe make a little money off of YouTube if I can. So. Yeah, 50,000 for chance. I know he won at one time. Pelletier or LaPierre. I can't think of what his name is. But he was from right up the road here. I actually sold him when I moved. I sold a bunch of equipment, and I sold him some equipment. $50,000, that would be better. But I got to tell you, it is all staged. There is nothing real about that. There's absolutely nothing real about that. And the guy who I tagged in my posts on my page, I tagged the guy who was doing the narration on the show originally. And they fired him because he raised a stir about it being cultivated. And so they fired him. And I linked the podcast that he was on where he talks about it, and it's in my posts. So if you go to my page and you go to my posts, you can listen, you can watch that podcast of him. And I've never actually seen the show the whole way through. I haven't owned a television set in, I don't know, 25 years or something. So I've actually never seen the show. I've seen little segments of Forged in Fire on YouTube, but I've never watched a full show. But I know that there's a lot of damn good blacksmiths out there, and some knife makers that wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. There's a couple of knife makers here in town. There's a guy by the name of Feely here in town who's probably one of the most premier knife makers in the country. He makes $10,000 knives. He does gold inlay wire and crazy Damascus and just crazy silver, like sterling silver bolsters and just crazy knives. You ain't going to see him on there, I'll guarantee you that. Yeah, you won't see him on there. And I know there's a guy that, and I don't know if he's still around or not, or if he moved to Alaska. There was a guy over in Thermopolis that made really nice knives too. He had a bank of little giant power hammers that he used for making knives, and those guys make mine. And the whole thing is look, I've been doing this 36 years. I've never built a sword. I've had a halberd in my hand. I've had halberds in my hand, but I've never built a halberd because nobody's ever asked me to. I've had halberds in my hand because there's a rich guy up in South Fork here who needed some hooks to hang his halberd collection on, his medieval halberd collection on, and he brought some halberds in so I could make some hooks that would fit all the halberds. But that's as close to a halberd as I've ever been. I mean, it's just ridiculous for me to try to make something like that. I do axes. You know, I do adzes and axes and big knives. I do a couple hundred knives a year. But I'm not going to do justice on a sword. You got to have special equipment and all that crap. And it doesn't appeal to me at all. And clearly, most of us are not in the blacksmithing for the money. Yeah, no, I do some pretty nice, you know. I do some pretty usable tools. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. And, hello. stuff. You know, I practice my drifting. So I was practicing my drifting, so I made this war hammer. And the reason it's hanging here is, you know, for me to get my money out of that, I'd have to have $200 or $300 out of that. And nobody's going to pay. Nobody's coming to Cody, Wyoming, going to pay $300 for a forged um, war hammer. This is not going to happen. And I'm in this. I make a living at this, so I'm doing stuff that I can sell and make a living. Here's a little bearded one that my son and I forged up last winter. Yeah, no, I don't want a website. I don't have time to be maintaining a website. And if I did a website, it would be sucky because I'm not good at it. So you'd have to hire somebody to do it. And the thing about a website is you have to pay to maintain it. And you have to pay to get people to go to your website. The great thing about YouTube is I just go live and people come here. And then if they're interested in what I build, I just tell them to go to the Etsy store and they just Google Cody Ironworks and it comes up. Yeah, and see, a machete, even for me, a machete's almost too big because I don't have a quench tank big enough to quench a machete. And it takes so much oil to quench a machete. If you're going to actually quench it in oil, that's wasted on me. I mean, my quenching tank is a cream can, a 3-gallon cream can. So so whatever I build, if I'm quenching something long, it's got to be able to fit top to bottom in a 3-gallon cream can. So my length is about 12-inch blade, is about as big as I can do. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, and see, some steels you can quench in water, and some steels you can't quench in water. And that's just the way it is. And a lot of the steel that I would make knives out of, you don't quench in water. I'm not making knives out of 4140. Here's a little shepherd's axe I made. I'm in Cody, Wyoming. My name's not Cody, my name's NJ. I'm in Cody, Wyoming. I've done a lot of, like, if you go and dig around, you can see some of the knives. I've done some katana type knives. My son and I did one for him a while back. Really nice. Stack leather handle, really nice. West Virginia, you're up late. So anyway, I did this little shepherd's axe, and that's kind of cool. It's not impractical, but here's a Basque style French pattern. It's got a teardrop eye on it, like a tomahawk. Yeah, and a lot of that leaf spring, it's almost too hard when you get done. You can't hardly naturalize it. It's still pretty damn hard. So you gotta be creative about how you temper it. Thank you. Yeah, I do a lot of 41 steel. Truck spring. LTS I call it, light truck spring. Like the bits in these are made out of light truck spring. This is mild steel, and then this is light truck spring. Thanks for the likes, appreciate it. But you know, most of my stuff, like I don't have any really finished knives to show you because if my knives are done, they're gone. I sell them almost as fast as I can make them now. I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at in my career, you know. But I have been doing it 36 years. But a lot of the axes I have is I don't want to sell at price. Like I would never sell the one. There's two on there that I would never sell because my son and I forged them, and so I would never get rid of them. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody coming in tonight for a Tuesday night this late. But it's still damn hot. Like, I've got some tomahawks over here that are half-ass finished, and I do some tomahawks. And I've got some videos on making those tomahawks. I actually did a pipe tomahawk here that I'm working on, but I just haven't had time to finish it because I'm so busy trying to fill orders. It's really hard to spend 5 hours doing a tomahawk that you're going to sell for $200 when in that same 5 hours I can do 15 or 20 wall hooks that I'll get $50 a piece for. You know, so it's kind of hard to do tomahawks and stuff. And I used to be the only knife maker in Cody, other than the real high-end guy. But since COVID, there's like 5 guys building knives in Cody now. So why? I don't have anything to prove, and it's not like I enjoy it so much that I am compelled to do it. I do it because I like to do it when I feel like it. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to make a living. I'm trying to get better. I'm tired of driving a 20-year-old pickup. I want something kind of newer. And so in order to do that, you gotta hustle. And you can either be a starving artist or you can be a moderately successful craftsman. Well, I was a starving artist for a long time because I did bits and spurs, and I just lost my ass on the bits and spurs, and so I don't do bits and spurs anymore because I couldn't sell them for enough money to make it worthwhile. You end up working for $8 an hour or something. That's just not worth it. I had a 76 that I drove around until there was just nothing left of it. I've got an '02 Dodge now that I drive with the Cummins in it, and a Subaru to drive in town, a 20-year-old Subaru wagon that I drive around in town. So, you guys, I live in a blacksmith shop. I'm not going home tonight. I'm staying here. I'm gonna go wash up. I might take a shower, and I might just wash off. And just stay here. I'm not going to the girlfriend's tonight. It's too late. I got to get up early in the morning and hit it again. So, yeah, I love my old Chevy 350 motor. Actually had a carburetor and points in it. I wish I still had that. Well, I don't wish I had that truck because there was not much left of it. But I wish I had a nice one. But I ought to sell this Dodge and go get one, because I can't afford to insure this Dodge. Even it's 20 years old and I still can't afford to insure it. So, like I said, the difference between making money on YouTube and not a lot of money, making $1,000 a month on YouTube is you're not to do that on shorts. You have to have a ridiculous amount of views. I've had almost 4 million views on my videos this month. 4 million. And I'm not making money because I get paid it depends. Sometimes I get 16 cents per 1,000 views, and sometimes I get 28 cents per 1,000 views. But it still only adds up to a couple $100 a month. So it's almost worth it, but it's good because it's good for the business, and instead of me paying for advertisement, they pay me a little bit for advertising my stuff. So. And I think hopefully one of these days, if I can keep from cussing and keep from smoking too much on here and showing my pistol, I might get a sponsor one of these days. Yeah. Well, I get it for skipping the ad. I mean, I pay the $12 a month so I don't have to see the damn ads. So the only subscription I have is to YouTube. So. But if you have any questions about YouTube, I'm more than happy to answer because I've done a lot. And I'm still stupid. I have a bigger channel. My channel is like 5 times bigger than the Buffalo Bill Historical Center's channel. My channel is 4 times or 5 times bigger than the Wyoming Tourism Board. Which just shows how hard it is to get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. It is a lot of work. I got lucky. I had a couple of viral videos that kind of sent me over the top. And then you struggle, you go, oh, well, I got to make another video like that. And then you do 5 or 6 videos that are just similar to the one that got 11 million views, and no, 600 views. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame people for skipping the ads. I would skip the ads too if I had to. And I do have a Rumble channel because if I'm not doing this, I'm shooting. I'm kind of a gun guy, but of course I can't post that kind of content on this channel. YouTube just hates it, and they will punish you. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up putting all that content on my Rumble channel. So if you want to see the gun content, you got to go over to Rumble. So, and that's ridiculous because I get a fraction of the views on Rumble. I posted a video today, it's had 50 views on Rumble. So, yeah, that's exactly right. It's called Cody Blacksmith on Rumble. And I put some blacksmithing content on there too. I got into this whole thing through the stupid TikTok. And I actually was getting a little money from TikTok, and then they killed that during COVID and everything. That went away when Trump got into office. They killed that. And so I keep the TikTok alive. I got 115,000 subscribers on my TikTok page, but I rarely post on there anymore because it's just like QVC. It's just ad after ad after ad. And what really pisses me off about TikTok is 4 years I couldn't post any knife content on TikTok. I could not show a finished knife, or they take the video down. They just jerk it. And now you go to TikTok, and every other damn ad that comes up on TikTok is somebody selling a switchblade knife. And it just pisses me off so bad. Like, I couldn't show an axe, I couldn't show the gun racks, I couldn't show the knives, and now all of a sudden, it's all that comes up is these stupid fake buck knives, the automatic buck knives, and these Russian switchblade knives. It kills me. It pisses me off. All right, well, I think I've had it. You guys have a good evening. I'm going to take old Flavor Flav and put them away, and I'm going to bed. I'm going to go wash up and go to bed. If you like the content, though, please subscribe. Please go watch some videos. And what would really be helpful is if you just go to the Etsy store, the Cody Ironworks Etsy store, and just share some love. You don't have to buy anything. Just go in and like some stuff, because all the engagement I get on the more engagement I get on the Etsy, the more they show my stuff. Because of course they get part of the money, and so the more engagement you get, the more they want to show your stuff. So go like my stuff on the Etsy store. If you just Google Cody Ironworks, all of my social media comes up. So I appreciate it, everybody. Have a great evening, and I try to do one of these a week if I can. So I try to go live of an evening when it's quiet and the internet's good. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll catch you later.